What's going on, guys? Greek Freak here, and in this video we're going to be talking about Jabari Parker signing a 2-year deal with the Chicago Bulls. Now, before I get deep into this video, I want to just say to remind people that in order to be notified of my videos, to make sure that you subscribe and hit the bell icon to be notified, since it is the NBA and NFL off season and random things can happen, so random uploads can happen. So to be notified, just hit the bell icon. Now, as we all know, I know I'm a little bit late as far as getting this out, but Jabari Parker signs a 2-year, $40 million deal with the Chicago Bulls after the Bucks elected not to re-sign him and basically let him go. Now, like I said in the previous videos before about the Milwaukee Bucks, I would have tried to trade Jabari Parker at one point, or at least try to assign him to some type of small deal so you could get some type of trade value out of it. But obviously they just decided to break paths and see how that would end up going. Now, obviously for them, that's going to help them with cap space as in not signing another player, but we'll see how that works out for them. But the main point here, I guess, will be for the Chicago Bulls and whether or not this helps them as far as to become a playoff team, if that's even what they will be going for. Now, obviously, I don't see them paying all this money to becoming another tanking team. Now, you're going to have two people who are trying to play their first full season after coming off of their injured ACL comeback seasons in Zach LaVine and Jabari Parker. So we'll really have to see about how that works out. They'll probably now be able to play full minutes and try to come back into a full NBA game season. Now, Jabari Parker, who only averaged about 12 points last season, but has been known to score about 20 points per game when given the right amount of minutes, as before he did not really have those minutes. So we're really going to have to see how does that work out. Zach LaVine, who seems to be a pretty good three-point shooter, almost around a 38% three-point shooter, and Jabari Parker, who's a little bit less and about around a 35% three-point shooter, can sort of help out with some shooting of the basketball, which is needed from the Chicago Bulls. Now, as far as that, their young talent, Markkanen, as he is shown to be one of the top rookies in last year's draft class, making the all-rookie first team. And now it seems with their new number 7 pick, Wendell Carter Jr., that they'll be able to have a very good presence as far as defensively at the center position. So we're really going to see how that works out. This is a very young core, as this is the 4th youngest team in the NBA, only behind the Pacers, 76ers, and the Phoenix Suns. So with that, we're definitely going to be seeing, as we know, 2 of those young teams in the East have been making the playoffs. And like I said last year, I felt like the playoffs were basically, if you wanted to get in the playoffs, you basically made it. The only 2 teams that tried to make the playoffs not making it in the Detroit Pistons and the Charlotte Hornets. But with the way that the East is going, I think the fact that if you don't have, right now it is almost difficult to tank to get the worst spot because so many teams are tanking. So if I were them, and as we all know, these big name market players, they're not going to a team that's tanking and says they have talent coming up. You have to prove it. You have to show the fact that you have something to work with. I think that's one reason why LeBron James made it to the Lakers, obviously, as far as an influence, because they proved that they could win games. Now, if they only had like 10 wins trying to get the number 1 overall pick, it really wouldn't, I don't think, influence them, because it's like, well, what are you really trying to do there? But guys, tell me what your guys' thoughts are. I think the fact that this team is capable of making the playoffs in the Eastern Conference, probably a lower seed, but I think the fact that that will happen is going to be an exciting team to sort of see, I guess, because of just the mix of all the young talent. And I just think that younger teams are a little bit more interesting to see as far as how they play against other teams. A little bit inconsistent, but interesting to watch. So guys, tell me what your guys' thoughts are on that. Do you think that they'll make the playoffs? If not, tell me also below. And If you enjoyed the video, leave a like and subscribe to become part of the Greek army today. And as always, this is Sparta.